Okay, welcome back to our program. We're going to talk more about Pimax's new EVO, the user interface that is scheduled, I think, to replace Pimax Play at some point. I'm running a Pimax Super Ultra Wide. Right now, though, I'm going to be making a flat screen video, so I'm setting everything to Focusrite for my system's headset and my analog microphone, which is a Neumann and much better sound than you can get on the Pimax. Now I'm going to bring up Pimax EVO and hope everything keeps working, because what it wants to do is default me back to the headset, and then if I've got Windows set for my Neumann microphone and let's just hope this works. But I've got Windows set for Neumann, and then I bring this up. Sometimes it switches me back to the microphone in the Pimax. Now, what I wanted to talk about were issues with this. I've had a great deal of trouble getting this to work reliably. Several things happen. One, every time I shut it off, it doesn't want to connect again, or it'll think it's connected, but it isn't. So then I have to reboot the whole system. One thing I've discovered is that this new OpenPort capability, which is designed to allow you to use third-party DLLs for a custom experience with environments like Steam. I want to show you something here, though. When you go to OpenPort, confirm that, and then we hit launch, well, there you go. As soon as I went back to I turned this developer OpenPort on, it immediately cut out my regular microphone and switched me back to the Pimax headset microphone in the headset, which is not so good. Anyway, we'll talk more about this in the video, and I believe in Flight Sim 2024, at least my Neumann microphone is recording and playing back on both channels. Let's find out. I'm sorry there's a bit of silence in the middle of this one, but that's what happens. When I switch to show you something in Pimax EVO on the flat screen, it immediately dumps me out of my headset and microphone settings and substitutes its own. Yeet. It's extremely frustrating. I do not recommend EVO for beginners. If you're extremely experienced, okay, EVO's all right for you, but you will find it frustrating. There is an option within EVO to choose Pimax Play instead, and that's what I would do. If you download it and find it's unworkable, just don't use it. Sooner or later, it'll get sorted just the way Pimax Play did. Back in the old days, Pimax software was a nightmare, and now Pimax Play 2.0 is pretty much bulletproof. It's among the best VR softwares out there. But anyway, let's get to the video portion. Hopefully it worked. Well, I have no idea whether or not this is recording. Yeah, Pimax EVO is not ready for prime time. It really isn't. I'm having problems with it finding the headset, connecting to the headset. The OpenPort doesn't work on the Pimax Super. And when I looked into it and saw the parameters that you could change, it seems to be mostly for the Dream Air. For instance, there was no distortion profile that I could find for the Pimax Super. Now, maybe the Pimax Dream Air is going to be the flagship headset going forward. But there's an awful lot of us who like the wider field of view of the Pimax Super, particularly the Pimax Super Ultra Wide. So I don't know what to suggest here. I'm going to put the headset on and pray that we're recording, and I don't know if anything is actually going to work. Oh, and now I have to adjust the headset position, of course. There we go. Well, that's done anyway. Now we're set. This is Gatwick in England. I have no idea if I'm recording or not. And now the frames per second display has quit too. So the advantages that the EVO is supposed to have, giving me information about what I'm doing in terms of GPU and CPU and all that stuff, only seems to be available when I'm not in the cockpit. And I was getting about 34 frames per second. Now yesterday I was getting more like 40, so I don't know. Let's just give this a try. Let's take the park brake off and let's just full mix, and we'll just do a circuit here. I don't want to be in this too long. And we should be able to rotate about now. Good. Huh. Trim isn't mapped. I thought I had trim mapped here. Right, let's take the flaps off. Where is our trim on this Piper Tomahawk? I've flown well, I owned a Piper Tri-Pacer and I've flown Cherokees. So there must be trim on this thing, but where the heck is it? Now, the other thing you're supposed to be able to do in Pimax EVO is record exactly what you see. So when you watch it back on YouTube, the viewer sees what you see exactly in the cockpit, which means with dynamic foveated rendering on, whatever I'm looking at should be very clear, and things over to the periphery less clear. That's how you get a decent frame rate. Some people have powerful enough computers they don't have to do that, but I don't know. The thing is, it doesn't make much difference to me because I used to wear glasses when I flew, and things are always blurry on the periphery beyond where your glasses extend, and even at the far left and right edges of your eyeglasses you'll find that things are blurry, just like so. Dynamic foveated rendering to me just seems to emulate the natural tendency of the human eye to see things more clearly in the center and less clearly as you diverge from the center, he said pompously. Does that make sense? Oh God, I don't know. I hope I'm recording. Otherwise I've just wasted another 20 minutes in Pimax EVO. At this point, I cannot recommend Pimax EVO. It's early release, and if you feel like fighting with it and getting it working, more power to you. But to me, it takes me right back to the old 8KX days, where if you were lucky, everything worked properly, and if you weren't, you had to get on the line with Pimax techs, and fortunately, they were very good. But boy, the software was not what I would call bulletproof in those days, whereas Pimax Play today really is pretty much bulletproof. The new replacement for it, which is not ready for prime time yet, and Pimax isn't saying that it is, it really isn't bulletproof. It's holy cow. It keeps, every time I shut Pimax Play off or EVO off, sometimes even when I reboot, it fails to find the headset, or it thinks it's found the headset, but I can't get an image in the headset. Now, this last time, that was because I had tried to use OpenPort, a feature on the Pimax EVO, but as I said, it appears to be mostly designed for the people who own Dream Airs. As far as I can tell, it don't do squat for us, you know what I mean? Oh well, they'll get it worked out, but in the meantime, it doesn't cost anything to try it, and if you're feeling experimental, you can have a go at it. But you can also choose to use the Pimax Play Classic when you're in it. I'm going to try and land this thing, because my frame rate is so low, I don't know what it is, but it's low enough that I'm actually getting nauseous. So let's do a whole lot of side slipping and pick a runway. Do a forward slip here and a slipping turn. A slipping turn is much, much safer than a skidding turn. It's pretty difficult to put yourself into a spin in a slipping turn, as long as you don't get too aggressive. All right. Let's take the slip out, and I'll put a notch of flaps on. Try to. There we go. For some reasons, my key maps in Flight Sim 2024 aren't working that well either. I want to keep my airspeed here, just let it bleed off as we get over. Ready to round out? Okay, let's round out. Now let's just hold off. Keep holding that stick back, let the main gear touch. Now the nose gear can come down. Yeah, it wants me to go faster, but I'm not taking off, I'm landing. Oh, wait, I didn't tell the controllers that. Has anybody tried any of those new voice controllers for ATC? I'd like to, but apparently the ones I've seen really only work optimally when you're flying instruments, which I have no idea how to do. Alright, I'm just going to pull off into the grass here and stop. I'm sure they won't mind. But the frame rate seems very, very low. It was higher the other day, so it may be that Windows is screwing around with me and downloading an update or something while I'm trying to do this. Okay, we're stopped on the grass. Thank you for joining me. I hope this recorded. If it didn't, I guess I'll just do it again. Oh my gosh, I really can't recommend Pimax EVO right now. I don't think it's ready for the casual player. For people like me who are used to fighting with software, the 8KX stuff and earlier, the old Pimax experience, well, it's okay for us because we can figure it out, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be a very frustrating experience until they get this sorted to the level that Pimax Play is at. Thanks for joining me. Hope to talk to you again soon.